Cam Ward is officially the Tennessee Titans franchise quarterback. He's a perfect fit for Brian Callahan's offense, but he's bringing some special stuff of his own as well. I'll show you what I saw on tape in today's film breakdown from Tic Tac Titans. Titans fans, welcome into another film breakdown from Tic Tac Titans, your home for Tennessee Titans X's and O's. I am your host, Tyler Rowland, nearly 25 years as a Tennessee Titans fanatic. I've covered the team for Sports Illustrated, USA Today, and hosted the #1 Tennessee Titans podcast, Locked On Titans, for 6 seasons. On today's film breakdown, we're going to take a look at how Cam Ward fits perfectly into Brian Callahan's spread West Coast offense. Whether it be in the short game, the medium game, or with the deep shots, Cam Ward is perfectly set up to thrive within the Tennessee Titans offense. Also, with Cam Ward's swagger in the red zone and ability in the RPO game, he's going to bring a special element all of his own. I'm going to dive into the tape, show you guys everything that I saw. I'm going to give you examples of what the Titans have done from last season and examples of what Cam Ward did at Miami last season and how those match together. Before we dive into today's film breakdown, do want to thank you for checking out the video. Make sure that you get subscribed, stay subscribed for year-round free Tennessee Titans film content. Also, make sure that you throw a thumbs up on the video, throw a Titan up down in the chat. And with that being said, as we always do, let's step into the film room. So let's start by taking a look how Cam Ward fits in the short game for the Tennessee Titans. Week 1 against the Chicago Bears, man coverage here, right here, and right here. We're going to see 2 short stick routes for the Titans. Sit down here, and then Treylon Burks on the outside is going to sit down here. And these are the types of throws that the Titans can use as early offense, first down, just get, 5, 6 yards, start the drive off well. Easy completions right there that can function as the run game. And here's Cam Ward making a very, very similar throw. You're going to have man coverage right here, and then you're going to have a similar stick route to the top of the screen. And Cam Ward does a great job of firing these in there with a strong arm and good accuracy as well. Hit the back foot, let it rip, accurate, get it to your guy, and then he has a chance to break a tackle and pick up extra yards. Again, really good footwork from Cam Ward, good release, easy money. Now we see the Tennessee Titans in another short yardage situation here. Now look what happens with Calvin Ridley. So he's going to motion out, and this is just a 2-man read, really. You have a guy going vertical here, and then Calvin Ridley is going to come underneath, and you're just reading these 2 guys. Whichever guy is open is the guy that you're going to go to. So stop right here. Look, Chigakonkwa pulls this underneath defender vertically. That opens up the hole right here. If this defender sat, then you could hit Chigakonkwa on the vertical route. But it's just a 2-man game. I'm watching that guy. What does 58 do? 58 goes this way. That means that I'm going to be wide open underneath right here. And this is the type of stuff the Tennessee Titans want to do all game. Just make it simple on the quarterback, simple reads, react to the defense. And we see that from Cam Ward right here as well. What are you going to get? You got an in route right here from the slot and an in route right here. And if it's zone and this guy sits to take away this in route, then you're able to fire it right here. If this guy goes with him, which is what happens, then you're able to fire it in this window right here. Just read this man right here and take what they give you. And Cam Ward's able to do that. Boom. Accurate, get it, lead him upfield. Nice pickup. Good footwork. On rhythm, good release. So far, we've seen a quick sit-down route on the outside. We've seen an in-breaking route from an outside receiver. Now we're just going to see a quick sit-down. So you're going to see some motion outside and then coming out. And Treylon Burks right here is going to settle right down in the zone. And this is just another one where you just read the player. Okay, if 25 is going to go outside with him, that means that 23 has this guy. If he just sits down quickly, that's easy money. And the quarterback just has to read this guy right here. If he goes with him, we know we have the underneath. If he doesn't, then we have the ability to attack vertically. Simple 2-man games. We see it here with Cam Ward as well. He can execute these type of things. Simple stuff right here. You have an out route right here, and then you're going to have a quick sit down route right here. If this cornerback takes away, then you're going to have to the outside. If he doesn't, then you should have room right here. Quick, easy. Imagine this on first down. Get the drive rolling. Get about 4, 5, 6 yards. Make it easy on yourself. Turn this into a pseudo run game, and then the run game's even easier. The Titans quarterbacks last year could not execute this stuff consistently, properly, quick enough, and with Cam Ward's quick release and accuracy, he'll be able to do it perfectly. All right, we've seen an outside quick curl. We've seen an in-breaking route from an outside receiver. We have seen a quick sit-down route as well. So we've seen a bunch of different stuff that the Titans are doing, and we're going to see more right here. This is a little whip route, or you want to call it an out. You can do that as well. But same thing, you're just reading this area of the field right here. Simple. You got a vertical route on the outside. If the cornerback sits, then you have the vertical route. If the cornerback goes, then what you're going to have is a nice little whip outside route right here. Titans love stuff like this. From 5 wide, this is West Coast, quick timing, passing, rhythm passing. This is what Brian Callahan wants to do desperately. And the reality is Will Levis was more of a play action, deep pass kind of guy. Well, Cam Ward is the perfect point guard, get the ball out of your hands quick type guy that Brian Callahan is looking for. And we see the same concept here. We got a vertical route right here, and you watch the cornerback. What does the cornerback do? If he sits, you go vertical. If he bails, then you have an underneath route right here. Boom. And Cam Ward takes what's given. Look at that. Beautiful little option route by Xavier Restrepo. Great chemistry. Just beautiful stuff. Cam Ward's going to be able to execute this kind of stuff so well for Brian Callahan. All right, we just saw the whip route to go outside where you hedge inside and then you burst outside. Well, what Cam Ward's also good at and what the Titans like to do is the opposite of that, where you fake outside and you whip back inside. And using it on the goal line is fantastic in principle. And Josh Wiley comes out here trying to basically just create space. And then you're going to have Tyler Boyd who's going to come in, fake the out route, and then whip inside. And look, this isn't an easy play to make for Will Levis, but I think Tyler Boyd is open. I've thought that throughout the process. I think right here, you throw this ball inside, and this is a touchdown for the Titans in real time when it happened during the season. I thought that. Look at this window right here. Just hammer that in. Will Levis bails on it way too early when you could throw it in, and then it turns into one of the worst plays in the entire season for the Tennessee Titans. A backwards turnover instead of a touchdown to Tyler Boyd. Now, there's much more space for Cam Ward right here to make this throw, but he makes it perfectly, and that's just what it is. So you got a clear route here, and then you have fake outside, come back inside. Bam. And these sorts of plays in short yardage situations, goal line, red zone situations, 3rd and 1, 3rd and short, 4th and short, these sorts of plays are so critical. Again, watch the whip route to the left side of the screen. Fake it, and then boom, dart right back in, and Cam is perfectly on time and perfectly accurate. And not only do they convert, but it turns into a monster play on an awesome spin move by Xavier Restrepo. So everything we've looked at so far is essentially a two-man concept where you're just reading 1 or 2 defenders and then making a quick decision and getting the ball out of your hands. West Coast principles, spread principles as well, which is what Brian Callahan wants to do. But also we see a ton of mesh from the Tennessee Titans, which is a concept that most people would probably recognize if you've ever played Madden. Usually you have 2 drag routes. You also have somebody who usually maybe goes deep. You have another guy come down here and sit underneath in the middle, and you're trying to attack zone coverage. That's the whole point here. And honestly, mesh can be used against man coverage too. It's a very versatile play, but the Titans attack here with mesh against man. And look how open Calvin Ridley gets. So again, man coverage across the board. This play works really well against zone, works really well against man. Out of a trips bunch that creates confusion and creates traffic for the defense. Smart stuff from Brian Callahan. I thought his play calling last year was overhated. But again, this is a simple concept, and an easy throw. You get the ball to one of your playmakers, let them do the work. That's exactly the type of easy offense Brian Callahan is looking for. And if you're going to play certain coverages and do certain things, you're going to take advantage. And we see that right here from Cam Ward in Miami. You're going to have Xavier Restrepo come on the underneath route in this drag concept that this mesh concept that Miami runs. Look, you see the drag route coming from the tight end right here. You're going to have the sit-down route here, a vertical route outside, and Restrepo is just going to come underneath. And the tight end does a great job, in my opinion, of rubbing the route right here. He gets called for the penalty eventually, but Cam Ward reads this perfectly, puts it in a great place, and allows this guy to get upfield and get extra yardage. Not his fault the referee threw a terrible penalty, okay? Looking, nothing there. Go to the backside, find my guy wide open, hit him perfectly, in stride. All right, now, we're going to see a different version of mesh right here. Like I said, usually when you have mesh, you'll have two drag routes at minimum. You'll have a vertical route of some capacity, whether a deep in or a post or a fly, and then usually you have somebody come in and sit right in the middle, because the idea is with the drag route, you can pull a linebacker this way to cover this drag, linebacker this way to cover this drag, and it'll open up a hole in the middle of the defense. So if you don't have either of the drags, you usually have the middle, but that's usually not your very first read. And right here, the middle is open on this drag. NWI comes in and sits down right here. Look, linebacker coming up to Calvin Ridley. This linebacker taking Wiley. Now, there's a ton of pressure. The Tennessee Titans offensive line has to be better. But, you know, it's there, okay, if Rudolph had time. But watch Cam Ward execute this play. So you have the mesh concept happening right here. Drag route, little wheel route coming out here, vertical route here. And then you have this player coming in right here and sitting in the middle. And watch Cam Ward fire this ball in here. And the accuracy, too. I want to show you from the end zone view so you can see how accurate what Cam Ward does is, look, this guy sits down right here. And this defender is who's threatening him. But this guy's right here is too. So look how accurate this throw is. Do you see that? Do you see how he put the ball not only away from this defender, but so that it wasn't close enough to this guy? This is a perfect throw in traffic. Bam, right to him. Get upfield, make a play. Excellent stuff from Cam Ward. He's going to fit perfect in the short game. Now let's dive into the intermediate game, the medium throws. And I think this is where Cam Ward can really, really eat. So against the Detroit Lions, what the Lions do here is they run a cover 6. You got a deep half right here. You got quarters on this side of the field. You're going to have a hook runner right here. You're going to have your curl flat right here. You're going to have just a flat right here. And then on the back side of this, you're going to have this defender right here who, call it a hook curl, call it a curl flat, whatever you want to call it. But basically, he's isolated by himself right here as the rest of his team focuses on this side, and it's just these three guys right here. So what the Tennessee Titans are going to do is they're going to create conflict with that linebacker right there. Again, just read one guy. So what they do is they take Chigakonkwo right here, out this way. Okay, and it forces the linebacker to widen, because if Calvin Ridley goes vertical, that's for these two teammates up here. His job is going to be to take the inside guy. Well, by having Chigakonkwo get outside right away, it widens him, and then it allows Calvin Ridley to bend just inside the linebacker right here, which is something that the Titans try to do all the time. They're trying to hit that peak inside of the linebacker. Rip it in front of the safety. Really nice play. Cam Ward is going to be better than either of the Titans quarterbacks could ever be at these next year. And we see a similar idea where you have three defenders right here, and Cam Ward is trying to isolate this defender right here. So with the play action fake here, RPO, whatever, it's college, it can be either. Cam Ward's trying to hold this defender. Again, just reading this guy. And then Xavier Restrepo is going to bend right inside. And you got to get this behind this guy and in front of the safeties. Exact same type of throw. Boom. Right in there, perfect. So perfect that it allows your guy to gain yards. It allows your guy to make plays. So many plays last year, the ball got to the receiver. Look at that. Woo! Whipped it in. Got to the receiver, but wasn't necessarily on target to give the receiver a great opportunity to get yards after the catch. So we move forward here to more plays like this where you're just throwing it in the hole. Wham. See that? Just reading this defender right here. Okay? If you go back, what they're doing is they're bringing an in route from this inside guy. And that is to threaten this player. And then you can bring Restrepo in on a crossing route right here, right behind him, and boom, there's your window. And again, this is exactly what the Tennessee Titans want to do. There it is. In front of the safety, behind the linebacker, and again, perfectly accurate, giving your guy an opportunity to get yards after the catch. And when you give your guys an opportunity, you never know what might happen. Here's another example right here of Cam Ward finding the hole and winging it in. We got Xavier Restrepo right here who just sneaks behind the second level and creeps into that intermediate area. And again, that's where I think Cam Ward just absolutely feasts. Look at him just dip around the linebacker. And see three pulls him, and that creates this space. It's just like the Calvin Ridley play that we saw before. It's just like it. The Titans do this so much. Well, they'll have a guy come, sit down, and then they'll bring a guy intermediate behind him. And being able to hit those holes and get the ball accurately to your guy, Cam Ward's ready. He's ready to do it. All right, so the next thing I want to get to is backside digs. So we talked about all those two-man concepts earlier with quick sit-down routes and quick outs and quick ins and slants and whip routes. We talked about all that little two-man action the Titans like to run. Well, on the backside of that two-man action often is a backside dig, which is a deep in route. So what you're going to have on this side is you're going to have a sit-down from Calvin Ridley. You're going to have a corner route right here from the tight end. And then what you have from NWI on the backside is a backside dig route. And this is, when I tell you this is all over the tape for the Titans, this is so common. They have 1-2 on the front side. Look, you have two options here. Calvin Ridley, corner route from the tight end. If one of you're reading the guy, if neither of those guys are there, you got to get to number 3, and that's your backside dig. This is every week, all the time. These are the concepts the Titans work. And look, Mason Rudolph goes, if you watch him, he's looking 1-2, 1-2, not there. I work back to 3, my deep side dig, or my backside dig. Okay? And we see the same thing from Cam Ward right here. You have a two-man concept, short, vertical, and then on the backside from the slot, you have Restrepo on the dig. Watch Cam Ward work through his progressions. 1-2. Nope, not there. Reset my feet. There's a linebacker right here too. Look at this. So Ward has to wait and make sure that he has the window to get it in there. Perfect. This fires me up. This is quarterbacking in the NFL. 1-2, back, reset, fire. If he can do this consistently, 1-2, reset, fire the dig, we're in here, man. We are absolutely in here. Again, another example. Front side, two-man concept. Vertical route, out route, I believe is what it is. And then backside dig. Yep, there it is. You got the vertical route, the out route, and here's the dig coming back over the middle. You can see Cam looks right now. He's looking. 1, 2. It's not there. He even pump fakes. It's not there. Get back. Go through the progression, hit your backside dig. Now, I admit Cam Ward can get quicker at this and go through the progressions faster, but that's pretty good footwork and great accuracy. So we've talked short game, we've talked the intermediate area. Now I want to talk about some of the deep routes. And one of the ways that the Titans get chunk plays against man coverage or cover 3 or even cover 2 if you have a hard flat is with a deep out route. The Titans love their deep out routes, especially with a speed receiver like Calvin Ridley that can create separation. And it's, again, if you get the right coverage, right here it's man coverage, it's easy money. It's just easy money if you have a speed receiver you know can separate and get open. And look, that's a huge gain right there for the Titans. Nearly a 20-yard gain on just a simple deep out route. Well, Cam Ward is great at deep out routes. Look, we have a vertical route right here, and then we're going to have a deep out route from Restrepo in the slot. And I mean, this is one of my favorite throws of Cam Ward of the year. Perfect. Allows your guy to get up, turn, make a play, touchdown. From the far hash, too. The college hashes are super far away. They're way wider than the NFL. From the far hash, a rocket all the way to the other sideline, perfectly right in the hands of your wide receiver that allows him to turn upfield and score a touchdown. That's incredible stuff. It's absolutely incredible stuff. And here, I want to talk about another thing that I think Cam Ward is incredible at, and it's post routes. He throws post routes and corner routes and these deep breakers over the middle so well. And this was one of my favorite plays of the year from the Titans. But we're going to see a scissor concept where NWI runs a corner route right here, and Tony Pollard comes in here and runs a post route, okay? And Will Levis, one of his best throws of the year, delivers a strike. This Washington game, man, it was the last time I had real hope for Will Levis. But that's what the Titans like to do when they attack vertically. They like to run deep crossers. They like to run post routes behind safeties. That's what they like to do. And we see the same exact scissor concept right here. We have the corner route, and then we have the post route. And look how Cam Ward hammers home this post route in the back of the end zone. Whoa. Boom. I mean, are you kidding me, man? Touchdown. That's how you hammer home those posts in those short windows. Excellent. Rocket. All right, now let's talk about a levels concept out of trips bunch. So what you're going to have here is you're going to have different levels. You're going to have a short route by Tyler Boyd. You're going to have an intermediate out route by Treylon Burks. And then you're going to have a deep corner route by Calvin Ridley. And this is a good way to attack zone coverages or attack man. And that's why they have a bunch. The Jets play a ton of man coverage. It's actually a zone coverage from the Jets, though. As you can see, it turns into cover 3. This safety goes back here. This corner has deep third. And Calvin Ridley just smokes him, quite frankly, because he's so fast. So Calvin Ridley on the deep corner right here. And again, one of the worst plays of the year, and Calvin Ridley drops this. But he had a great game against the Jets. Can't complain. Slowed down just a little. But that's the type of stuff the Titans like to do when they attack zone coverage. Okay, and we see a similar concept right here from Miami. It's not quite exactly the same, not as vertical, but we see a quick out route. We see a sit down route here, and then we see a corner route, and it's cover 3 with middle and third. See, it's a cover 3. It doesn't look like it at first, but this guy ends up taking deep third. This guy takes deep middle. This guy's got deep third. And Cam Ward cuts through the traffic, reads it perfectly, and look where he delivers this ball. Right in between these two guys. It is what some would say is magic. Boom. Beautiful. What a throw, man. The last play I want to go over in our deep section here is the vertical route off the two-man concept. So we saw some two-man concepts earlier where you would have a vertical route down the sideline, and then you would have a quick out route right here. And again, this is meant to attack cover 2. If you have a deep half right here, and this corner is a flat, well, if the corner pulls up on the out route, then you're going to have a hit down the sideline. Now, more often than not, the cornerback will bail out here because it's cover 4, or it's cover 3 or something like that, and then you just hit the underneath route. But if this corner does bite up on a hard flat, there is a hole right here between the safety and the corner that some quarterbacks have the arm strength to access. And Will Levis did, and Cam Ward does as well, and maybe the best play of the entire Tennessee Titans season right here. 98-yard touchdown to Nick Westbrook-Akine, where you identify that the corner steps up and you take the shot downfield. And you're going to see it right here from Cam Ward as well. You got a vertical route down the sideline. You're going to have a quick out route right here, and Cam Ward reads the defense perfectly and throws a beautiful ball with touch and accuracy in between. I mean, that is... like, this safety gets on his horse to go to the sideline, and Cam Ward's on this hash. Like, this is a farther throw than he'll ever have to make in the NFL to a sideline. And look how he lays it out perfectly on the sideline in between defenders. Like, this is high-level stuff right there. Awesome throw. But now let's talk red zone. So I want to talk about some things that Cam Ward can add to the offense. We talked about how he fits within the offense and all the things Brian Callahan wants to do that Cam Ward can execute already, but he's going to add an element to this offense with his ability in the red zone and his ability in the RPO game. We have a quick play action slant right here. We have a play action to Tony Pollard, and then you have a quick slant route here to Nick Westbrook-Akine, executed perfectly by Mason Rudolph for a touchdown. Boom. Perfect. Well, we see a very similar thing here from Cam Ward. All right, we are going to have a quick slant right here, and he just delivers it perfectly. Off of play action. Perfect strike. RPO, play action. Hard to tell in college whether it is or isn't or what, but either way. Now, another thing that Cam Ward's going to be able to do is take advantage in the red zone of some of these misdirection plays. So right here, Nick Vanette is going to kind of leak out, and Levis is just going to float it up to him. A little dangerous, but made the play nonetheless. I was at that game. It was terrible. But watch Cam Ward and how comfortable and poised he is with these sorts of throws. Off the back foot, leaning backwards, play action pass. So cool, calm, and collected. Back foot, falling away. Perfect pass, throw it up high to your tight end. So nonchalant, so casual with it. I mean, it's swaggerific, man. No way around it. We see a similar thing here. Just such aura, as the kids would say. Just going to see a quick slant route in here, and Ward off his back foot. I mean, like he's half asleep. Just, okay, all right. Touchdown. Back to the sideline. I'm thirsty. I mean, it's absolutely. Look how casual he is. Okay. But look how beautiful that throw is. It's incredible. This one's awesome. Same thing. Play action, and then release the tight end off the back foot. Drop it in a bucket. Easy touchdown. So cool, calm, and collected, man. Moxie. All right, now let's talk about the RPO game, because this is something that the Tennessee Titans have never had in their offense. Basically, at any point in time, it's never been a real part of their offense as the NFL, the modern NFL, has started to adopt more of it. But Cam Ward is an RPO savant. Like, you absolutely have to put this into your offense because he's so good at it. And these are little tight end flats. So it's an RPO, which is read or run pass option, not read option, run pass option. And that's different from a read option where a quarterback can keep it or give it to the running back. This is that, but with a pass attached to it. And they ran a ton of this at Miami. You're going to have these two guys come out and stock block, and you're going to have your tight end. I call it a RPO tight end flat, is what I would call it. Just leak out here. And if the defense bites in, you can dump it out to the tight end. If they stay here and honor the tight end, then you're able to give it to the running back up the middle. And Cam Ward's so good at making these decisions. And then not only making the decision, but the arm angles and the accuracy and the release quickness required to be a savant at the RPO game. He's got it all. Look at that. Look at that arm angle. Look at how he just threw that. sidearm, like a shortstop in baseball. Perfect. And look at the lead blockers. Like, those plays are so simple and so easy and so accessible for Cam Ward that it would be illogical for the Tennessee Titans not to put this in the offense. And think about Chigakonkwo on those, with how dynamic of a player he is. And look, little screen out to the tight end. Think about if this is Chigakonkwo, one of the most dynamic, quickest tight ends in the NFL. Like, the Titans have to put this in the offense, and this added bonus with Cam Ward, not just how he fits, but like what he can add to the offense is critical. I love this play. We see another tight end flat right here. This is for the game. 25-point comeback against Cal in the final moments of the game. RPO from Cam Ward. He pulls this defender, the edge defender, in, which allows the tight end free run into the flat. Okay? The problem is the inside defender is on him too. So he has to get in between both the defenders, one on the outside and one on the inside, and throw the ball in between them out to the tight end to win the game, in a 25-point comeback on the road across the country. Ridiculous. Watch this from this angle. Look, 10 is right here on the inside. 21 is on the outside. He gets in between them, and he's literally in front of 21 and throws the ball in front of him. All right, last one I want to show you here is just a RPO fade in the red zone. You have the run fake right here, the run pass option right here, and then there's a fade to number 2. And again, far hash, folks. Far hash in college. Watch how he throws this dot. Because look, he's watching these guys. And forward, forward, forward. I have an isolated matchup now. I'm going to take advantage and get it to my guy. What a throw. Tremendous accuracy and touch. What a playmaker. Welcome to Nashville. Welcome to the Titans. Titans fans, that's going to do it for today's film breakdown on Cam Ward and how he fits perfectly within the Tennessee Titans offense and how he adds some special magic of his own. I'm going to have so much film content out for you guys during draft weekend, and especially next week after the draft is concluded, going over all of the Tennessee Titans top picks. Make sure that you go get subscribed to the Locked On Titans podcast as well, where I'll have instant reaction videos. I'm going live every night after the draft concludes to look ahead at the next day. So much content, film, conversation, information, anything you need. I am an all-encompassing hub of Tennessee Titans content, and all of it is for free. So again, make sure that you get subscribed to the Locked On Titans podcast. Get subscribed here to the Tic Tac Titans film channel for year-round free film content. That's going to do it for today's breakdown. Throw a Titan up in the chat. Throw a thumbs up on the video. I am your host, Tyler Rowland, and as I tell you every single episode, tighten up.